So who would think that grown people cannot stay in the same house and y'all doing children like little kids type of stuff, right? I'm a grown woman. You're independent by nature, right? You don't like for people to ask you questions anyway, right? Unless you're cool with them. Like people you're not cool with are not allowed to ask you questions. And then on top of that, they're looking into your finances, telling you how to spend, right? That is a lot on Leo, right?
And that's stressful. Every time you go and buy something, you're thinking, is this against the budget? Am I going to be in trouble
Like,
because of
oh
this?
yeah,
Right.
yeah. See me, I'm trying to build my life back up. I didn't have nothing, so I'm like, I'm trying to get my clothes together. I'm trying to make sure my hair stay good. Like I'm doing stuff like to make me feel better because I'm feeling all I'm around all these people and I'm picking up all their energy and I'm bringing it home to me and I'm thinking it's mine. And so
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like, okay, I'm swiping my card. It's like what they call it, retail therapy. Just everything to kind of just like feel something different to stimulate my dopamine and my serotonin. I'm like, this is a lot, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, on the flip side, because you got the third dimension and you got the spiritual realm and things like that. So I kind of understood what was happening on that level too, because uh they're trying to get you into a financial situation to where you no longer need to, get help. So if I'm only making a certain amount of money and spending $6,000 in a month, that look crazy to them. But to me, I'm like, y'all, like I'm a magical ass bitch. I can get whatever I need to get whenever I need to get it. Like what? This is not making sense to me. So it was just like a clash between my spirituality and the third dimension. Nobody's understanding, and then everybody thinking I'm a witch and I'm doing spells on them. Like that was to what the other girl was saying. She thought I was doing spells on her, and she has some trauma from another situation that she was in where there was an actual girl actually doing spells on her. But I'm just like, girl, I don't think about you like that. Like, I don't do stuff like that. Like, why the hell would I do anything to you when I'm a Leo, baby? Like, I'm only thinking about myself in this situation when it comes to like, I don't care about you like that. So it's like I would never.
Tell it.
I don't do stuff like that. It don't make sense to me because I have my own energy. I don't need to feed off
Mm-hmm.
nobody else's energy. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, but I know it's people out there that do, because people out there done try to do it to me. Like I got stories about that, but baby, look,
But
so in that time,
so was you
like
spoiled? Was you spoiled because you spent that more? Like what
oh,
was the
there was a
outcome of that?
meeting. There was
God
a
damn, need it
meeting,
over your.
and they sat me down and was and I'm conflicted because I mean I get it, but at the same time, like, hold on, like, but yeah, there was a meeting. They were talking about it, but then when they see my bank account and they saw that I still had money saved, she was like, "Oh," she was like, "Well, I'm like, yeah." I said, I'm not that. Like, I don't know what y'all talking about, what y'all think this is, but I'm good. Like, I'm gonna always make sure I'm straight. It don't matter what situation I'm in. Like, I always had a meal, a hot meal. I always had a bed. I always was good. You know what I'm saying? I always was able to take a shower. And I'm not saying it's a brag, but what I'm saying is I got me. So it's like when these people was like trying to tell me how to do things, I'm like, no, but I do still understand that they're looking from the outside looking in like you are unstable. And I'm just like, in my mind, I'm like, I'm living this whole magical life that nobody can see. And that's only because I can see it. But I know other people can't see it because the only reason I can say for sure is that I'm not consistent. So once I get to that point, well, which I am, I'm thinking like I just gotta be consistent. Because once things start building on top of each other, and you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna get to the place that I need to be at. But the issue is that when I get into that mood, when my
You shut down.
bipolar acts
It's
up,
shut down.
everything is gone.
Yeah, it's
When I
shut
tell you
down.
I'm like a hurricane in this bitch. Everything,
But let me
everybody finna feel it. I'm throwing away everything. I'm tearing it down.
DJ. No, I speak the same language. But let me ask you though, because of what you're going through, right now, you left to get help. right? For you and your kids. You're thinking that there's going to be a better place. At any point in time, are you angry that you're now put in a childlike situation because of this man? So, is there any anger there? Like, I wouldn't be going through this because of you, because I know you still will have to be sort of kind of angry at certain times because he put you in that predicament. So it's like you're still not getting no peace. And in your mind, you thought that, well, hey, they was going to be nice to me, they was going to help me, they was going to assist me, but then it turns into a freaking nightmare. So at any point in time, do you still feel that anger or any anger? Just bits and pieces, because it's because of you, Ninja. I gotta be sitting up here arguing with these people, showing my bank account, being treated. So go ahead.
Angry. I wouldn't say I'm angry because at the end of the day, I do take accountability for my actions. I chose this man. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
um, if I do get angry, most of the time I still have a little bit resentment towards my parents. And
Yeah.
and not even
Okay.
them,
Oh.
but more so just like how me, like as a child, I was just this bright, gifted child where I was just like explore. I was very curious, and the people who I was who I came from, they didn't know what to do with such talent, I guess. I don't know, but they didn't know what to do with it. They didn't know how to answer my questions. They didn't know how to think on the level that I was thinking on at such a young age. So I was made to feel crazy or delusional. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Um, and so that kind of stuck with me to where I had issues with my identity for a long time because I was gaslit. So that when I grew up, when I was growing up, I would have my intuition in the back of my head the whole time telling me, don't do that or do this and da. But I'm not listening to it. I'm seeking validation outside of me because the people who I grew up with didn't teach me to listen to my intuition. They taught me to listen to them and that they knew what was best for me. So that type of energy just kind of stuck with me to where I didn't trust myself and that I would look outside for validation or, if somebody or something made me feel good, despite what I felt for real, I would ignore myself and go with that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I got to the point where I took accountability for it. So I'm not necessarily angry at him. He is who he is.
Right.
And I don't think he's not like a
Yes.
horrible guy, but he's like he has went through the same type of trauma. So I can't blame him because I mean like he grew up a certain way and I don't really blame nobody because all of this kind of stems from generation to generation to generation. You can only know what you know and what you've been
Mm-hmm.
taught.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I'm not angry at him at all. But I try not to throw the finger at him. There are times where we get into it, and it's like, if you didn't do this, if you didn't do that, and I'm like, this could have played out a different way if you did. But then he's like, but you did this too, and I have to think about it, like, yeah, I did react like that, and I caused him to react like that, but he caused me to react like this, and so it's like so I can't blame him. I can only blame myself, and once I'm in that situation and I'm angry or I'm frustrated and I'm not in control of what I do, I can't blame nobody else but me. So yeah, yeah. So do I forgive him? 100% no. Because I felt like his actions did lead to a lot of things that happened, but at the same time, I still chose that man. I laid down with him and had babies with him. So that's what that is. Yep. Yep, yep, yep. So, I guess we can get back into what was happening. Like after I got diagnosed,
Yeah.
I think that's what I stopped at in that story.
Mm-hmm.
When my caseworker had suggested that I go to the psychiatrist, that's when I got diagnosed with bipolar disorder, and that's when I had told them, and then they were just like, "Oh, okay, so much makes sense." And so, like, even though I know that spiritually it means one thing, but in the third dimension on paper, and if you're uneducated or not an intellectual, you're not really knowing what's, you're bipolar, crazy, psych ward. That's what you're thinking. You know what I'm saying? Everyday regular people not thinking, oh, this is a spiritual gift that needs to be tapped into more. Like, you know what I'm saying? So
Mm.
I know that. And a lot of it comes from second guessing myself. Still, um not realizing how in tune I actually am and how juiced up I actually am for people to try to put spells on me and feed off my energy type. Like,
That's
so
never
I'm
gonna
like,
stop.
okay,
That's never gonna stop.
yeah.
Mhm.
So yeah, I mean that's kind of what it is. And so once I got diagnosed, it was just like I was really depressed about it for a long time. I was just like, because I didn't
Mm.
quite understand. Because remember, like I
Mm.
wasn't into my spirituality like that. Because I was
Mm.
so into like having to find a job and taking care of my kids and putting them in school. I didn't really have time to take care of myself and look deeper into myself. So once I did get that diagnosis, I was like just so distraught about it, because I'm just like, so you trying to tell me there's something wrong with my mind and it's nothing I could do about it?